Recently, the 5-member constitutional bench of Supreme Court of India listened to the arguments in favor of and against the election bond scheme 2018 and has reserved its judgment. So, the question in our minds is, what is this scheme and why was it challenged in the Supreme Court? So, without wasting any time, let's start with today's topic, election bond scheme 2018. The scheme was brought in the budget of 2017-18 by the then Finance Minister, Mr. Arun Jaitley. The stated aim of the scheme was to allow the individuals and the company to donate to the political parties anonymously as well as check the misuse of the black money into the political funding. This scheme had to bring in some amendments to the existing laws, namely Income Tax Act 1961, the Representation of Peoples Act 1951, Companies Act 2013, and Foreign Contribution Regulatory Act 2010. The scheme was notified on 2nd January 2008 and the first tranche opened for subscription in March 2018. Before we move further, let us understand the political funding before the scheme and after the scheme, and then we will come to know why the scheme is challenged in Supreme Court by various organizations and people. Before this scheme came into the being, the political funding used to take place by the individuals and the companies, as the individuals could donate to the political parties and claim the appropriate rebate in Income Tax Act. The companies could maximum pay up to 7.5% of their annual profits or 10% of revenue, whichever was less. The Indian subsidiaries of the foreign companies were not allowed to donate to the political parties. Neither the foreign companies could donate. However, as far as the political parties were concerned, they had to declare all the donations they received above rupees 20,000 from an individual or a company. Up to rupees 20,000 they could receive in cash, and these could be termed as unidentified. However, once the scheme was notified, the scenario changed to some extent. For individuals, there was no change. They could pay in cash up to 2,000 rupees or buy the bonds and donate. For the companies, now they could donate any amount. Even if the company was loss making or zero revenue, still the company could donate to any political party. No information about the particular party to which the donation was made was to be given to the shareholders by the company, and Indian subsidiaries of foreign companies could donate to the political parties through these bonds. As far as the political parties were concerned, the cash limit of rupees 20,000 was brought down to rupees 2,000. These could be the anonymous amount. However, anything they receive about 2,000 had to be declared. Now, coming to the salient features of these bonds. These are basically the interest-free bearer bonds which can be purchased by the companies or the individuals from the notified branches of State Bank of India. These are in the denominations of rupees 1,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh and 1 crore. The name and other details of the donor are not entered on the bonds. However, these have to be purchased from the KYC compliant bank accounts only. There is no cap on the number of bonds an individual or a company could buy. The bonds are to be in cash within the 15 days of purchase by a political party. If this 15 days deadline is missed, then there will be no refund to the buyer or the political party to which this bond has been given. However, the complete amount of the bond which was issued and not in cash would be added to the Prime Minister's Relief Fund. That's an interesting aspect of these bonds. However, till now, no such thing has happened to best of my knowledge. Now, what is the frequency or when are these bonds issued? These bonds are issued every year in the month of January, April, July and October. The issue is open for 15 days and additional 30 days are given in which the year Lok Sabha elections are held. However, with the recent amendment brought in last year, the maximum period, that is the number of days the scheme is open cumulatively, has been increased from 70 days to the 85 days in the year when assembly elections are to be held. Now, as far as the political parties are concerned, who can receive them? How can they utilize? Those political parties who have got 1% of the total votes polled in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha or Vidhan Sabha are eligible to receive the electoral bonds. However, these must be registered under Section 29 Alpha of RPA. Then they have to have a verified bank account which has been verified with Election Commission of India. All the details of the political funding they receive through cash, through other means, or the electoral bonds are to be given through their bank account to the income tax department as well as election commission every year. Now, how much amount has been collected in the existence of this thing? The scheme, as I told you earlier, was notified in January 18. The first tranche came out in March 18. Till July, 28 tranches have been issued and a total amount of 13,000 crore worth of bonds have been purchased. Then, whom are they being given to? The data shows that the maximum bonds were donated to the ruling party, whether at the center or the state. About 66% of the total donations of 7 major political parties came through the means of bonds and undisclosed income. Now comes the question why these bonds are being opposed in Supreme Court. Basically, as I brought out earlier, a 5-member constitutional bench has heard the case and reserved its judgment. The petitioners argued that firstly, the nature of the bonds is opaque. The people do not know, that the voter do not know who the donors are. Rest everybody, whether it's the bank, the income tax, whether the political party, everybody knows who has donated the money. This violates the right to information under section 19A of 19(1) of Constitution. I will repeat, it violates the right to information under Article 19(1) of the Constitution. It is suspected that quid pro quo has been happening as maximum donation has been made to the ruling party, whether at the center or the state. It's assumed or likely that the black money is routed through shell companies, as even the loss making or the zero revenue companies can buy the bonds and donate them. Also, these are very unfair to the shareholders, as the company is not liable to inform them to whom the money was donated. And last but not the least, this bill was introduced as a money bill where Rajya Sabha has no say. However, the Supreme Court has not dwelt with this aspect of money bill, as there is a separate constitutional bench which is hearing the matter of money bill for various petitioners. So this has also been clubbed with that. Now, what is the current status? As brought out earlier, the judgment has been reserved and it may come in any time. The Supreme Court has asked the EC to keep all the details of the donations received through electoral bonds up to 30th September 2023 from the financial year 2019. The bench did not agree to the petitioner's request to stop the issuance of the bonds till the verdict was announced. And as on date, the government, as of today, the government has approved the issuance of 29th tranche of the bond, which will be available for sale from 6th November to 20th November 2023. So friends, let's look forward to the electoral bonds issue being resolved very soon and the cleanup of political fundings. With this, I come to the end of this episode. If you have not subscribed to our channel till date, please subscribe. It will improve our working, as well as share and like the channel so that we are motivated to do much more. Thank you.